This is our last video of the relocation series. If you've been keeping up with the series, watching all the videos, congratulations for making it this far. Now, if you haven't watched the other videos, I encourage you to do so to fully appreciate the whole topic of relocation. Now, on this last video, we're going to go into numbers once more because I've gotten some questions about the appreciation factor, how it applies, if I can give some examples, as well as the opportunity cost. Now, these two, a set of numbers which we're going to go into, apply more to the younger, older Gen Xers as well as the older millennials that are relocating. And on a previous video, I mentioned the percentage they represent of the people that are relocating, which is significant. So these numbers will apply more to them, though also we covered on a previous video the largest group that are relocating, which are those of 65, 62, 68 years of age and above. And these numbers don't fully apply to this group because I've learned from this group, those that are above the age of 62 are usually not looking to make more money. They're looking to preserve what they have. As long as they're not losing money in the decisions they make and they establish a better lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle, peace of mind, more secure, while maintaining comfort. Right? These are key in helping this generation. And we have a whole set of numbers, a little different from what we're going to cover today for you. Okay. So getting back to the numbers that apply to that group that are, and they're still strong in their earning years. And they bought a property, let's say 7, 12, 15 years ago, and now they need a larger home, or they want to move to a different neighborhood, a different school district, maybe a house with a pool, a little bit more of luxury. These numbers apply to that group. And these numbers that we're going to review are more specific to the LA County area, the LA Basin. And household income usually needed for these numbers to work. And it's anywhere between 150 to 250,000 or above. And usually it's for sure above 200,000, okay? A household income. So let's keep that in mind. And if you're not at that household income, keep watching the videos and see how we can help you continue doing your real estate business and hopefully get there someday, if not with a steady income, with equities, okay? So for now, let's start with someone that owns their home and they thought about relocating, though they're not really sure what's holding them back. Is not too much the affordability factor, because again, they're making more money. They want to move. They have the desire for a better home, lifestyle, neighborhood, though it's the current rate. They look at the current rate on their mortgage and first thought is, wow, I have a 3.5. The rates right now are at 7%. And if we're to move, we would give up our 3.5. Why would we do that to go pay 7%? So hopefully as we go through these numbers, you can come to your own conclusion if it makes sense or not, though you'll discover that there's a good chance it can make sense for you. Okay, so their current home now is worth $1 million. Let's start there. That's the first number, 1 million. Their current equity in that home is 400,000. And let's suppose the type of home in the neighborhood they're currently located, there's been an appreciation factor average per year, let's say in the last 10 years, of 8%. So we do 1 million, 8% of that annual increase, right? Is not guaranteed, by the way. Let me ethically and legally say that. I'm not predicting the future. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm basing it hypothetically on what's happened in the last 10, 20, 30 years. And if you don't believe me, go out there and attempt to find a house that was selling in 1992 for maybe 110,000. You won't be able to. So hypothetically, this is based on history, right? So $80,000 of gain potentially with that 8% appreciation on that $1 million home. Now, if we look at the 80,000 and divide it into the 400,000 of equity, that gives us a 20% return on equity. That's how we look at this, okay? Uh, and their current loan, yes, they're paying, as I mentioned, a lower rate. Let's say 3.5%. Their current loan is 600,000. Their tax amount, property taxes. Let's suppose they paid $750,000 for this home 5, 10 years ago. Their annual property tax is 9,375. All right, so that's the numbers for the current home. Now, the proposed home, let's say there's enough motivation, desire, need to want to uproot and move to another home, which I covered in the previous video. We're going to review those numbers, how it may look like. Let's suppose their next home is in a price range of 1.2 million. They have that 400,000 in equity, and they invest those 400,000 in that next property with an appreciation factor, studying the neighborhood, studying the type of property with a professional relocation specialist like we have here at the company. We determine that the appreciation factor for that particular home, that particular neighborhood has been on average 12%. And that's not outrageous. We have a lot of neighborhoods in the LA area that's very true, okay? Now, we look at 12% appreciation factor with a 1.2 million price tag. We have potentially $144,000 per year of gain. Again, potential based on history. Now, we look at that 144,000 and divide that into that 400,000 initial equity. That gives us a 36% return on equity. So we go from 20% return on equity on the previous property now to 36%. So that's a big number to like really take a look at and fully understand the benefits of that. Now, yes, will getting a new loan cost more money? Yes. In today's market, which is a normal real estate market, this is where the rates need to be. Let's suppose you're paying 3.5% more of interest per year than what you're paying today, and it's a $800,000 loan. The additional interest per year that you would pay in comparison to what you're paying now will be $28,000 of additional interest. Now, the property tax is attached to the new price tag of 1.2 million. And here, the new property tax will be 15,000. Currently, you're paying 9,375. So the difference of that is $5,625 in this scenario. Together, the 28,000 of additional interest you'll be paying, along with the additional property tax that you'll be paying for the higher price tag of 5,625, combined is 33,625 additional monies that you'll be paying out of pocket to be able to move. Okay, so the question is this: if we've determined that the appreciation factor is higher in this scenario of the next home, potentially adding 144,000 per year, and it's costing you an additional 33,625. Does that make sense? Okay. Real estate is a numbers business. Now, some people might not want to say that, and I know politically there's a lot of things going on. Though at the end of the day, where we're at today with the prices, it's because it has worked for so many people, right? There continues to be a demand for housing. There continues to be individuals that can afford these homes. You know, Yogi Berra said, no one ever eats at that restaurant anymore because it's always full. Just think of that. Same thing with real estate. We wouldn't be at these prices if there wasn't a demand. So the question is, do these numbers line up for what you're looking to do? And do they make sense? As long as they accomplish your desires, your goals, and of course the affordability is there based on your current income, I would say yes. Because here in this scenario, again, your current equity of 400,000 from 20% to 36%, I mean, that's big. And lastly is this, any additional interest, any additional property tax. And this isn't the reason to do this, though it's good to understand how by doing this, you can also get an additional benefit, which is these numbers, these decisions that we discuss with our clients are usually with those households, as I mentioned, are 150, 200, 250,000 of household income per year. You know, sometimes the write-offs are necessary to bring down your tax bracket. So I'm not even going to go into detail with that, though do speak to a tax professional, see what tax bracket you're in, and if you paid additional interest, additional taxes, these 33,000, if that was to lower your tax bracket, that's an additional savings to you on your income tax. Okay, so thank you for watching. And if you're in LA County, reach out to us and we'll be happy to have one of our relocation specialists sit with you and go over your specific numbers of your current property and the potential home that you would like to move into and see if the numbers make sense for you. Now, I'll ask you to stay aware, stay attentive to these videos, because as we wrapped up today's series, which is relocation, we're going to start up a new series, which can be beneficial for some of you, which is multi-unit investing. All right, so look out for it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do so. Thank you.